Happy New Year, good looking people out there. I am Somewhat Awesome Rob, and welcome to Somewhat Awesome Mondays, where today I'm going to be talking about Pokemon Snap 2. It doesn't exist. Or does it? It might. We don't know. If you remember, Pokemon Snap came back in 1999 or 2000. I think we got it in 2000 here. But it was one of those games where like Pokemon fans were like, oh, we want a 3D Pokemon game. Give us that. Pokemon Stadium came out and all that. It was like, oh yeah, that's cool. Pokemon Snap was one of those games like similar to Pokemon Stadium where you expected it to be like, you heard about it. You're like, oh, it's gonna be like a Pokemon world. We get to go around, fight Pokemon and stuff. And then you're kind of like, oh, it's just taking pictures. But then you're kind of like, I like this. This is kind of enjoyable. You just sit in like a rail car and snap photos of Pokemon, chucking stuff at them. Like you throw apples or pester balls like to knock Pokemon out, or you play the Pokeflute to move like Snorlaxes and stuff. It was a pretty cool game. Like it was very creative. It was only short. It was only like 7 levels or something. One bonus level where you gotta like fight Mew sort of thing. You gotta chuck pester balls at him and get his shield down so you can take a picture of him. But the levels were short, but they were creative in the way like you had to replay them and capture different events. You could like speed through the level, chuck pester balls, get Pokemon to evolve. It was very cool. It was very interesting. And a very fond memory of my childhood. I didn't actually own the game. I never bought the game. A friend of mine lent the game to me. Like, for some reason, I had friends like, they think I could finish video games for them. And they actually paid me. Like, when we were kids, people would pay me to finish their video games. It's kind of like the stupidest thing ever, I know. Like, some guy, I remember a guy, one of my friends, Sam, he gave me $10 to finish Super Mario 64 for him. He was like, oh, can you finish this game for me? I was like, alright man, I'll finish this. It's kind of like a stupid thing about like a kid paying another kid to play a video game and finish it for them. Why have the game, man? Why did you even buy it if you're not going to finish it? People were dumb that I like knew growing up. Clearly, they were just stupid people. But Pokemon Snap, I never bought that. Someone lent that to me to finish for them. And then when I finished it, they were like, I don't want it. You can have it. And I was like, well, fuck yeah, man, I'll take it. Why not? So I have Pokemon Snap. I don't have the case or anything, which is kind of a bummer. But I do have the game, so I can play that whenever I want. But now I have a good feeling, it's a semi-good feeling, maybe this year we'll hear about Pokemon Snap 2. Possibly. I only have this feeling because I played Captain Toad, which just came out here. So I was given this world. There are these certain levels in Captain Toad that kind of caught my attention, where you sit in like a little minecart and you use the gamepad, which I have here. So I'll show you a little example of how it was. So you play it and you like look around and stuff. And where you look, very much reminded me of Pokemon Snap. The way you sit in like a little cart, and the gamepad is perfect for this. If there's gonna be a Pokemon Snap, it needs to be on the Wii U using the gamepad, where you can look around, chuck stuff, do stuff. But what if it's not like that? What if we go a little Far Cry 3/Far Cry 4? In these games, you have a camera which you use to spot enemies and stuff. What if we had an open world Pokemon Snap game? Kind of like, I don't know, people complain about graphics and stuff, like for the Wii U, it's like, oh, you can't play Far Cry 4 graphics, whatever. I know someone out there's going, you can't have a game like Far Cry 4, but you can. Like, look at the new Zelda coming out. You can have this open world. Nintendo doesn't care about graphics because they know how to make nice ones out of like small powered consoles. Other companies kind of crap their pants with the Wii. They're like, no, we can't make our game on that. Nintendo's like, watch us make beautiful games. So they have the ability, I reckon, to make an open world Pokemon Snap. Maybe you can venture around, kind of like a Zelda game. Like if you took the Zelda exploration, and instead of a sword, you gave him a camera. And when you switch to the camera, you switch to your gamepad, and then look around, snap some photos of some Pokemon. I have a feeling maybe E3, we might hear about a Pokemon Snap game. I'm not saying like 100%, yeah, we will hear about a Pokemon Snap game. I highly doubt we'll probably ever get one, but if there is gonna be one, I reckon this year we might, because Miyamoto's got Star Fox coming out, we've got Zelda coming out at the end of the year. What about next year? What about 2016? E3 maybe we'll hear a little, or see a little bit of Pokemon Snap, just a taste, just a tiny taste. Because if it's ever gonna happen, it's gonna happen now. If it doesn't happen now, it's probably never gonna happen, but we all wanna see Pokemon Snap. I wanna see Pokemon Snap 2. Do you want to see Pokemon Snap 2? If you have any ideas, what would you like to see in it? Like, I guess Miiverse sharing photos, maybe editing photos, open world, or would you prefer the on-rails approach, like the Captain Toad levels, for example? Let me know in the comments below. Are you excited for potentially excited for Pokemon Snap 2. Today I'm going to do a little list for you of the top 10 games of 2014. There's something on the map flashing. Who the hell is that? That red-green thing. That looks like they might be a problem.